Alright, this is a weekly reading for Aquarius. Your song of the week is going to be OneRepublic-Counting Stars. If you haven't heard that song, it's a pretty old song, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, we have the intended, which is strength in numbers. Strength in numbers is a kind of like you're fighting against something. With counting stars, it's kind of coming to the realization of, you know, you against something else, against religion, against something bigger than yourself, in order to overcome it or to actually see the cracks in it or whatever. Cracks in beliefs. I haven't listened to that song in a minute, but, I was channeling other songs as well, so, with Counting Stars, listen to that song. It could have everything or nothing to do with your situation, but it does have in the music video where they're actually, having the cracks in the church that's above them. They're having, like, their song and their band at the bottom of, like, the basement of a church, and everything that's magical or seems like a miracle or something people should be following, actually you start seeing the cracks in it, and you see the major hole in it, and you see, like, what's really behind the scenes of the whole thing. And it's the band coming into focus of the people that are worshiping in a church. So it's an interesting music video, but it does get its point across pretty easily. Anyway, let's see. Your first card is going to be the Devil in Reverse. The Devil in Reverse is addictions and obsessions in reverse. So violence and abuse, freedom, psychological torture, cruelty, intentions, release, desired for nothing positive, restoring control, addiction, problems. So you might be going through addiction problems or obsessive problems. Obsessions can be just as bad as addictions. Maybe you're obsessed with somebody or something, or a particular candy or a particular drug or something else, but it's like it takes over your entire life. Like, you will schedule your day around it, or you'll schedule what you're going to do that day around certain places, things, or certain people, okay? And it could be a little bit overwhelming for anybody that's looking on the outside. They'll be like, I think you need to stop doing that, and you're not taking their advice until you yourself break down, or you can't do that, or you come to, like, a realization that it's not working for you. I feel like your obsession might be with a person, but it's, it could be a great many things. It could be a person, it could be a place, it could be a drug, it could be all these things. It could be more than one also. It could just be a very unhealthy attachment to things that you're codependent on, okay? So we have number 2. Number 2 is week's theme, which is the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups is love, family, and relationships, and it's also the card of choices. So, good choices made, having options, searching for purpose, decisions you're happy with, in the position to choose, choices, daydreaming, being in a position to choose from a variety of other things. So there could be a point where you're just kind of picking stuff and there's different things that are available, or there's just a lot of opportunity for something new to happen in your life. Maybe it's relationships, maybe it's just drugs, maybe it's sex, maybe it's shopping, but it's like, it's a difference of environment that's very different from what you're used to. So let's see, number 3, which is challenge. We have the 6 of Wands, which is work and business. So accomplish goals, victory, recognition, public reward. Let's see. You will be successful, hard work paying off, rewarded emotionally and financially. So this is a challenge because maybe you you're like sabotaging yourself to some degree. Like you don't want this to happen, or it's too overwhelming for you. Maybe you're afraid of your own success. Maybe you're afraid of recognition. Maybe you're afraid of moving out of a situation that you've become accustomed to, like your happy place almost. With drugs and addictions and stuff, usually you're constantly in a happy place, considering, but it's kind of like everybody else can see the cracks in it. They can see why it's bad. They've been there, done that kind of thing. But it's like you're kind of stuck in La La Land, Wonderland, or The Matrix. So depending on what sequence you want to put those stories in, you're going to be stuck there for a while because you're scared of what might happen if you're not on these things. You're afraid of withdrawals. You're scared that you might forget. And I feel like that's the biggest thing. There was a movie like that like the character was so tranquil beside like railroad tracks that had like this pond at the bottom. And one day they moved. The family moved, and they never knew what happened to that spot until much later. So they revisit their own old home to see that it's knocked down, the pond is dried up, and the train tracks have been taken down because they're dilapidated. And it shows how connected this person was to that place. They had pictures of it, they had emotions attached to it, they had so many different things attached to this one place and time that they actually became successful because of said place. Once the place was gone, they became very different people. They grew beyond it, but they kept holding on to it, which was very interesting how it kept popping up, or different things would remind you of that place. It was just such a weird type of movie. But yeah, it's a very interesting movie. I forgot what where it was. I feel like it was like a Michigan movie, but I'm not sure. It was kind of like one of those like film festival things. But it was a good movie. So let's see. Number 4 is Lesson to Remember. We have the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups is love, family, and relationships in reverse. So the end of relationships, a failure of business, death of a loved one, depressive mood, finding peace, terminal illness, acceptance, and moving on. So this is what happened in the past. Somebody in your family passed away, and you moved on with your life. You kind of went away from a particular thing, and you've grown past it. You're not really codependent on it. Maybe you're codependent on other things now, and it might, kind of have a pattern of being codependent and relying on other people to help you out, or other things to help you out. So that's kind of like the root of your addiction, is that somebody passed away and then you had to hold on to something. Alright, so number 5 is Lesson You Will Learn. We have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is finance and health. Finance and health, see. So works hard, efficient, takes their time, has the patience of a saint, is persistent, works hard. Responsibility can be relied upon. So this person is kind of like my mom. She's old reliable. Since she's going into surgery tomorrow, I'm kind of like on edge, but at the same time, it's my mother. Like, if anything should happen to her, I kind of can pick up the slack, because I've been like that my entire life. But, yeah, in this case, it's kind of like, it's my mom again, it's, but I feel like a lot of people are going through, like, making a difference, doing some hard work, becoming themselves, going through their destined path and stuff without really being codependent. And I'm proud of y'all. And yeah, with my mom, she's going through surgery, an invasive experimental surgery that she needs, but at the same time, I'm kind of going to be in the waiting room, pacing the floor, and kind of 100% being a nervous wreck. Like, I'm not a person that's against it, but I'm also not a person that's 100% stable, because I've been through this before where I didn't think that I would ever see my mom again, so I constantly go back to 7-year-old me when my mom first had surgery, and she had invasive cancerous tumors in, I believe, her stomach, the same place that she's having surgery now. But it was like so long ago. Like, it was just in a different location on her stomach. But in this case, it's like right near her throat and esophagus. So it's gonna be a time. It's just gonna be terrible. But yeah, I'll try to keep you updated. But I'm kind of gonna be emotional until she gets out. So I'll see what I can do. But number 6. Number 6 is the gift you will give yourself. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse, which is finance and health in reverse. So, being dogmatic, greedy, only does what's expected of them. Indulgence, materialistic, sensuality, and overly focused on finances. So you might constantly be working, or you might constantly be working on projects, collaborations, other things that need your assistance, time, or energy. So that's that. So you could be bored at work. I wrote these down on like a napkin, sorry. So you might be bored at work, or you might have a successful career change soon. So you might have looked for jobs, or you might have kind of got bored with your old job, and you're just like, I need to either get promoted or I need to leave this job. So whatever the case is, it's, you know, it's on both different scales. Like, you could be bored at work, and then another person could be like getting a new job, or having a job change, or be traveling for work or something. So it depends on where you are in the world, or how you're feeling as far as your job's concerned. But yeah, I feel like it's gonna be an interesting week. It's gonna be a lot of fun though. Anyway, Aquarius, hopefully this helps you out in some way, shape, or form. I know life's a journey, and sometimes you're codependent, and sometimes you break codependency because, you know, something changes. Mood changes, maybe you move, maybe you want to achieve things on your own terms. I feel like the reason why people get addicted to things is that they can't cope with the situation that's at hand. But once you do cope with a situation that you might have not decided on at the moment that it happened, you eventually become that thing, you know. It's really crazy. But once you get past that, you become yourself again, and you can achieve things more fluently. Or fluidly. But, yeah, I just feel like it's a difference of prospect and how you look at things, okay? Probably a different perspective on certain things and how they should be handled, and why you didn't handle it the right way before. Maybe you were too young, maybe you were dealing with it for the first time, or maybe there was other underlying things about yourself that you came to grips with on that particular situation. So, whatever the case is, you know, fun stuff. Anyway, Aquarius, hopefully this helps you out, and it gives you perspective on who you are as a person, and maybe the fact that you need to kind of escape codependencies. Not completely. I know some people are like, I need to depend on my house for sleep. But that's fine. That's normal. That's human stuff. Depending on people, places, things, and other things for self-worth and your own self-worth is kind of, you know, a little bit step back into your shell type of energy. So as long as you're living life on your own terms and you're doing what you believe is right, you should be fine. And you don't need addictions or obsessions with things, you know. Anyway, I will see you in the next reading, alright? Later.